Very good morning to all. This subject is control system, basically in the 6th semester. Now we are going to teach root locus diagram, which is in unit number 3. This is single topic. This subject is common for electronics and communication engineering branch and as well in electrical engineering also. Now we are going to discuss this topic. This is root locus diagram. Basically majority of students are confusing under this topic because of there are various problems in their explanations. So I am going to teach from the basics to the top level. So basically what does it mean by root? I am explaining what does it mean by root. If I am talking about root, so we can define root is nothing but poles of closed loop transfer function. If I am defining the locus, that means locus is nothing but path. So we can say कि root locus diagram is nothing but which describes the path of closed loop transfer function poles for different values of open loop gain, where open loop gain will vary from 0 to infinite values. That means in numericals, whatever given, there is a open loop transfer function is given. Everywhere open loop transfer function is given. In that open loop transfer function, or we can say with the help of open loop transfer function, we are making the path of closed loop transfer function poles. Actually, this is the root locus means. That means if I am combining these three terms, that is root locus diagram, that means diagram which tells us the path of closed loop transfer function poles is known as the root locus diagram. If I am coming to the point number 2, this key point 2 is nothing but we can say in the majority of the cases, or mostly in most of the cases, the root locus diagram is valid for negative feedback system. In general talking, we can say 99% topics will contain negative feedback system. In the negative feedback system, mostly root locus is valid for negative feedback system, that's 99%. Okay, so this is first case. This is case number first. If I am talking about case number first, this is G of S is nothing but open loop forward path gain. H of S is nothing but feedback path gain. R of S is nothing but input. C of S is nothing but output. And this is the summation point. We can say the input is going from here, and this represents the negative feedback system. This represents feedback path gain. This is open loop forward gain. This is nothing but output of the system. Basically what I want to represent here, I am representing here this is non-unity negative feedback system without outside K, where I am not representing the K outside of GS. That means I am not representing K here. This is the first case. If in this case I am representing ki what is the open loop transfer function? Open loop transfer function will represent like this: G of S and H of S. This is the function of K basically. This is the function of K. In next case, if I am talking about next case, this is unity negative feedback system. What is the difference between the two cases? There is a difference. There is no feedback path. There is a no unity feedback path. If there is no unity feedback path, that means we can say this is unity negative feedback system without outside K. इसका मतलब कि here we are not representing K outside. And this is nothing but open loop transfer function, which is also the function of K. In the next slide, if I'm talking about in this case, what here? This is open loop path gain. This is open loop transfer function gain. This is open loop path gain. This is open loop gain. Here I am representing outside of the GS. This K is nothing but open loop path gain, where if I am representing open loop transfer function here, I can represent ki what is the G dash S. What is the G dash S? G dash S is nothing but open loop transfer function. This open loop transfer function is nothing but K into GS. What is the difference? I am representing here the k outside of the GS. In the similar manner, in the next case, I am also representing the k outside of the GS. Again, this is my feedback element. This is non-unity feedback system. If I am combining in all the 4 cases, so we can see the picture. We can see that picture here. In all the cases, here k is not there, k is not there. Open loop path gain is not there. Open loop transfer function gain is not there. Here open loop transfer function gain is not there. Here open loop transfer function gain is available. Here open loop transfer function gain is available. Here the feedback element is attached. Feedback element is attached. This is feedback element basically. This is feedback element. Similarly, here is no feedback element. Here is no feedback element again. Here is feedback element is available. If I am combining these 4 cases, these 4 cases can be a problem. If I'm coming to my topic, that is root locus diagram. Basically in older days, there is an instrument which is used to sketch the root locus diagram, that is known as spiral instruments is known. Nowadays, MATLAB software we are using to draw the root locus diagram. Basically this is the major portion. ESE 2018 question was there. This is ESE, Engineering Services Examination. This question was asked ki which type of instrument is used to sketch the root locus diagram. There are 4 options are available, but here this is the right option. This is spiral instruments. But nowadays no one uses spiral instruments. Here MATLAB software is available, so everyone is using the MATLAB software to sketch the root locus diagram. In the simple manner, I am taking example of open loop transfer function. Without using any rule, I am making the root locus diagram. That means I want to tell you that without knowing the rules of the root locus diagram, I can draw the root locus. Basically, this is my open loop transfer function. I have taken this open loop transfer function. This is my open loop transfer function, which is represented by GS, G of S, is equal to k upon S into S plus 1. I can see here, this is the type 1 system, this is the order 0 system. Okay. Now, if I am talking about the characteristics equation, the characteristics equation is written by 1 plus G of S and H of S is equal to 0. If I am calculating 1 plus k upon S plus 1 is equal to 0, this will become S square plus S plus k. This is representation of characteristics equation. Okay. This is basically, what is this? This is second order equation. Second order equation. If I am comparing these 2 equations, first equation is this, second equation is this. If I am comparing with equation number first and equation number second, I can conclude some values. I can calculate, by comparing, I can calculate the value of k and I can calculate the value of zeta. What is k? K is open loop gain. Omega, what is omega n actually? Omega n is natural frequency. What is omega n? Natural frequency it is. Natural frequency. What is zeta? Actually, what is zeta here? In this equation, what is zeta? Zeta is the damping ratio. Damping ratio. Already we have seen in previous units, okay, what is damping ratio, how it will come. So I am not elaborating more this equation. So when I will compare these 2 equations, I can calculate the omega n value and zeta value. Omega n is natural frequency, zeta is the damping ratio. If I want to calculate, then these value will become omega n is equal to under root k. Okay. Zeta is equal to 1 upon 2 under root k. I can see here there is an important conclusion I can make. What is that important conclusion? I already told you what is root locus diagram. In the root locus diagram always describes the path of closed loop transfer function poles with the help of open loop transfer function, where the open loop gain varies from 0 to infinity. This is open loop gain, which is a variable here, which is variable. If k is variable, if open loop gain is variable, the natural frequency is also variable. If the open loop gain is here variable, that means the zeta value will also be variable. So by varying these two parameters, I can make the closed loop transfer function poles path. How can I represent like this? Suppose this is simple. This is simple, a picture. This is a simple picture. I have here, this is the k value. Randomly, I am choosing these values 0, 0.1, 0.2, 0.25. These are the open loop gain values. If I am putting in this characteristics equation, the k value, if I am putting this in this characteristics equation, I can calculate the roots of characteristics equation. These roots are there. These roots are there. And I can calculate the zeta value also if I am putting the k value here. The damping I already defined in previous lectures. If the k value varies from 0 to infinity, this system is underdamped system. This system is underdamped system. What is the critical damping? If k is equal to 1, that is critical damping. What is overdamp? Overdamp is nothing but if the k value is greater than 1 is known as the overdamping. You can see ki in the overdamp case, in this overdamp case, you can see the k value. The k value, you can see the k value here directly. Sorry, zeta value, not k value, zeta value. You can see directly, just a minute. Okay. You can see the picture here, overdamp. That means the k value is greater than 1, greater than 1. The k value is greater than 1, so the system is an overdamped system. If the k value is 1, this is critical damped system. If the k value is less than 1 and varies from 0 to 1, that is underdamped system. So without making any rule, I can see, sorry, without making any rule, I can draw the picture of root locus diagram. If I'm using these roots, in my S plane, S is nothing but complex plane, sigma plus j omega plane. If I'm plotting these equations, these values, if I'm putting in the open loop transfer function poles or S plane, I can draw the picture of root locus diagram. You can see here. You can see. Basically, what is my transfer function? That is GS equal to k upon S into S plus 1. Okay. So S is equal to 0 here. This is my open loop transfer function pole. S is equal to minus 1. This is nothing but open loop transfer function poles. That means in my problem, there is a 2 poles are given. This is open loop gain. This is open loop gain. This is my S. I can calculate S is equal to 0 and S is equal to minus 1. What it is? It is open loop transfer function poles. With the help of this transfer function, I can make the root locus diagram. Basically, the students are confusing. Why confusing? Because of the question is given. The problem is everything is given open loop transfer function. But what we are doing, we are drawing the closed loop transfer function poles path. That means the root locus diagram is for closed loop transfer function poles. But actually problem is given by open loop transfer function poles. Iska matlab kya hai? What does it mean? It means with the help of open loop transfer function, I am making the closed loop transfer function poles path. How it is? If I am putting the k value in this S plane, it will look like this. After putting the k values in open loop transfer function, we can see the picture. Basically, it represents, you can see the red mark, closed loop transfer function pole, which are mobile in nature, mobile, which can movable. But cross means open loop transfer function poles, which cannot mobile. Iska matlab, which cannot move in the plane. So we can say कि already cross represents the open loop transfer function pole, which is not movable. But here dot represents the closed loop transfer function pole. How it will come? It will come by putting the k value in the transfer function. If I am putting the k value in the open loop transfer function, I can make the closed loop transfer function pole. Basically, what does the red mark represent? This is closed loop transfer function poles, which is movable actually. In the next slide, I am putting the another values. So you can see the picture. In the next way, You can see the picture. I am putting the different values at different places. These are nothing but closed loop transfer function poles. These are nothing but closed loop transfer function poles. Basically, one pole is here also, and the cross marks is also here. So cross represents the open loop transfer function pole, which is not movable, but red dot represents the closed loop transfer function poles. Actually, what we are doing, we are making the closed loop transfer function pole path with the help of open loop transfer function pole. You can check it. Already I have written here, open loop poles are immobile poles and closed loop poles, all the poles are movable poles. In the next case, this is the basically picture. What I did here, if I'm meeting these all red points, there is a breakpoint available in the real axis. If there is a breakpoint available in the real axis, that means it will decide the direction of the closed loop poles path. It will decide the direction of root locus, how it will come. After learning the different rules and regulations of root locus diagram, we can easily make it. But actually, without knowing the definite rules and regulation, I can make the root locus diagram. That is actually I mean. So in the next picture, I can see if I am meeting these all points, this red color path represents, one is the root locus diagram, this another root locus. That means there are two branches available. There are two branches of the root locus basically. One is the key point here. Always root locus starts from open loop poles and it will end up to the open loop zeros. So you can see the root locus will start from open loop pole, and here the k value is 0. Here also the root locus will start from open loop pole. Here the k value is also 0, and this will end. You can say this will end. The black mark will represent like this. So this, what is this? This is open loop 0. And which type of 0 is there? Virtual zeros. Iska matlab, what is the key point? Key point I can represent in the next slide. You can see. Root locus diagram always starts from open loop poles where k is equal to 0, and it ends at open loop zeros where k is equal to infinity. Okay. Next point, closed loop poles are mobile in nature. That means closed loop poles can move in the S-plane, but open loop poles cannot move in the nature. In the S-plane, open loop poles cannot move. In next, root locus diagram is a graphical representation of all closed loop poles path represented by the arrows. That means when I meet all the closed loop poles, there is a arrow mark I have represented in previous picture. If I am talking about the stability, I can make a conclusion. If all of the portion of root locus will lie in the left hand side of the S-plane, the system is stable. If some of the portion of root locus will lie in the right hand side of the S-plane, the system will be conditionally stable. That depends upon the value of k. You can see, by using the Routh-Hurwitz criteria, I can use the characteristics equation. By using the characteristics equation, I can conclude, I can make the Routh table. I have already explained in the previous lecture. And if there is no sign change in the first column of this table, that means the system is stable. That means right hand poles are not present here. Right hand poles are 0. If right hand poles are absent, the system is stable. If I am talking about the stability by the help of Routh-Hurwitz criteria, I can easily tell you that this is a stable system. But by looking the diagram only, I can tell you how I can talk about the stability. Basically, this is a table you can also check here. If the k value varies from 0 to 0.25, the system is stable. How the system is stable, I have already explained in the previous lectures to you. If the system is stable and the k value lies from between 0 and 2.0 and 1, the real and unequal roots will present here, and this is the overdamped system where the zeta value is greater than 1. If the k value is 0.25, the system is stable. That means you can see zeta value here is 1, critically damped system. If the k value I am bearing from 0.25 to infinite value, the system is stable again, where I found the imaginary and complex poles. The damping is under damping. How the value will vary? The value will vary is 0 to 1. The zeta value will vary from 0 to 1. This is basic. I have already explained to you. Okay. Basically, if I'm talking about open loop transfer function here, the previous examples I have taken. So I'm not explaining you how this root locus diagram will become. I will explain you that this will look like this. The root locus diagram will look like this. This is the geometric axis actually. This is the geometric axis. This is root locus diagram. This is sigma. Okay. Where open loop poles are represented by s is equal to 0 and s is equal to -1. How the root locus diagram of this open loop transfer function representation like this, and with the help of this open loop transfer function as representation, I can make the root locus. This is actually root locus diagram for two poles. Here you can say the 2 poles. Okay. In the next picture, you can say conclusion. Conclusion is nothing but, without studying the rules, we have drawn the root locus diagram. What is it? It is the representation of all closed loop poles. When we meet all the closed loop poles with the lines, that will be called path. By using open loop poles and open loop transfer function, we are drawing the path of closed loop poles. We are not drawing the path of open loop poles. Open loop poles are immobile in nature. They cannot move, but with the help of open loop transfer function, we are drawing the path of closed loop poles. That is nothing but root locus. Actually, this is nothing but root locus. Actually, most students are confusing about that point. But you can see here. Now, I have already told you that my root locus diagram always starts from open loop pole and it ends at open loop zeros, where the k values varies from 0 to infinity. So, when the root locus diagram ends, it will end at open loop 0. It can be physical 0 or virtual 0. How you can identify ki virtual 0 kaun se hain? You can identify Z star. I am representing by Z star the number of virtual zeros I am representing to Z star. Z star is nothing but is equal to P minus Z. What is P? Number of physical poles. What is Z? Number of physical zeros. In case of proper transfer function, what is proper transfer function? P greater than Z. Iska matlab pole should be greater than the 0. This is the proper transfer function. Basically, the other name is also strictly proper transfer function. Okay. Now, if I can draw the root locus diagram without any rule, why we require the rule to sketch? If we can draw the root locus diagram without rules, why we require the rules to sketch? Actually, whatever I have taken the example, that is second order system, I can easily draw. But suppose it is third order, it is fourth order, how can draw? It is very difficult to find out the poles values. So we require the rules to sketch, because if I have written also why we require rules to sketch, because if order of open loop transfer function is more than 2, there are various complications to calculate the roots. In the next picture, I can see the rules for sketching the root locus. Here I have written first rule. What is the first rule? Basically, the picture starts from here for the root locus. In the next lecture, we will continue with the root locus from the rules. We will draw the root locus diagram with the help of rules, and we can easily draw. Thank you.